Hey there, this is Jay here from Jeremy Jacob Letting Specialists. I've recently done a little tippity-tappity post on one of my socials, and it was about the different hats that us letting agent professionals have to wear sometimes. And it was over the diplomat, the counsellor, and the cross-upset school teacher vibe. Let me break that down. Okay, so the diplomat. There's great diplomacy involved in our job. We have to go back and forth between both parties, sometimes when we're property managing, but also in the negotiating phase, actually, when a tenant first makes an offer. And what you can find is that there is a lot of ego at play. If a tenant ultimately wants this property, let's find a way to make it work. And if a landlord recognises that we have a very good quality tenant, we also want to find a way to make it work. But sometimes, as an example, we can get a little bit lost and bogged down on the point of price. We have a tenant aggressively asserting themselves, trying to make the best offer. And then we have sometimes the landlord side, where they are trying to go for their best price. Now, if not careful, the ego off can destroy everything. And this is where us letting agents have to use diplomacy and skill to go back and forth between each party. Ultimately, it's an easy answer, but to create a win-win outcome would be the best thing, where the landlord feels that the tenant has worked their way up at producing a viable enough offer and has appeared educated, but then the landlord has not come across too greedy and sort of selfish interests have taken the forefront. So it's a fine balance, and that's where us letting agents use a great deal of diplomacy. Number two, the counsellor. What do I mean by that? Well, look, landlords and tenants can be having a bad day. They can be having a bad time. I've had tenancies where one tenant, we'd had, say, for example, 2 years of a rented unit. Nothing happened. And then this poor tenant moves in and just all of the things started happening. The dishwasher broke, the washing machine broke, there was a leak from above. They locked themselves out at an inconvenient time at night. And the thing is, when these initial things first happen, we as the agent have to bear the brunt of the emotion, the upset, the frustration. And we know it's not our fault. But in the initial stages, you have to just listen and just take it. You are their counsellor in that moment. Who else have they got to let loose on, basically? So that's what we do. We take it all in and we listen to them, and then we're always thinking about, well, we've got to solve this problem. I mean, immediately when something like this happens, I go into overdrive. I just want to solve it. But before I can just go into solving it and say, I'm going to fix this, don't worry, I'm here to help, we have to just listen, and from there, then we can help. And number three, cross-teacher vibes. Sometimes tenants move in to a property and nothing's completely perfect. For example, light bulbs. This is a great example, actually. Old tenants that move out, existing tenants, they should replace all light bulbs and make sure they're working. But there's an interim period before a new tenant moves in. And frankly, a light bulb could blow. So a tenant moves in and a couple of light bulbs they've broken. So they get in touch with us and they're angry. Oh, the light bulb's broken. And if it's a complicated light bulb, like a modern light bulb that requires a special fitting, we can help. But if it's your classic light bulb, the twisty ones that you can buy from the shop, we have to put our foot down and say, look, yes, you haven't arrived to every light bulb working, but look, as your tenant responsibilities, the little jobs around the property, you need to go and buy your own light bulb. And that's where we have to be firm and say, no, that's what you got to do. And sometimes we have tenants that react not very well to it, but we have to assert ourselves and tell them essentially how it is. We or a landlord can't be running around just to go and buy some batteries for something or a light bulb. So there you go. There are other hats as well, and almost we are a poor man's solicitor at times as well, but that's for another occasion. Hope this is interesting and informative, and speak to you soon.